Alright, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Casey, and today's reading is going to be all about who is your soulmate. And I want to clarify, when I say soulmate, in this reading, I'm going to be going from the perspective I'm expecting romantic soulmates to come through, but I also recognize not everybody wants a romantic soulmate, and for some people, you may have many different romantic partners, but your true soulmate is actually, your best friend or your sibling, because the bond that you have is deeper than, any other romantic relationship. But I wanted to clarify that just in case, as we go through the reading, you see, oh, the soulmate that came through is actually my best friend. It's not actually a romantic partner. That doesn't mean that you don't have romantic soulmates. I truly do believe that we all have multiple soulmates throughout this life. But I wanted this reading to be about, which one is going to come forward, which one wants to be presented to you, which one is going to be most important for you to know about at this time. So keep that in mind as we go through. Like I said, I am keeping the intention that I'm expecting romantic soulmates to come through more, but anybody can come through. It's just about, which soulmate wants to appear to you. So today I have 3 different readings for you to choose from. We have pile 1 with the crocodile, pile 2 with the nightingale, and pile 3 with the fire ant. So keep in mind, these cards, don't overthink them. These cards are just for which one you feel most drawn to. I'm gonna pull more cards as we get into the reading, and if these cards come out again, then I guess it's just an extra sign that that's an extra special card for you for some reason. But yeah, go ahead and pause, figure out which reading you feel most drawn to. I'll leave timestamps down in the description box so you can quickly jump to whichever reading that you want to listen to. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, pile 1. If you chose, I feel like it was the crocodile card, then this is the reading for you. And I'm just, I get such like a giddy love feeling from your reading. It's just, ooh, I love it when I just if you could see my face, I'm just smiling to the point that my eyes are almost closed, crinkling up, ooh, I feel like there's so much love between you and this person. And I want to say, I'm going to get to these cards later because these are actually the last cards that came out, but I think it's important to tell you right now. I feel like this soulmate is somebody that you will know for a very long time. I think it's somebody that you were friends with first, and friends for a majority of your relationship. It wasn't even really thought of about this developing into something further. But it gets to a point where you become so close, you become each other's family. And I feel like, since this is a general reading, I want to give you 2 interpretations that I'm feeling here, because I really feel like it could go both ways, where it's either it develops into a romantic relationship that neither of you really expected, but it's years down the line and suddenly you're looking at each other and you're like, how did we never see this before? How did we never see this possibility? And suddenly it just explodes and everything culminates in this perfect relationship because you have this foundation of years of friendship built on top of it. But another thing I'm kind of getting is, there, I assume most people have heard of this, but there's this kind of joke going around where it's tag that person who, if you're both single at 30, that you're gonna get married together. And it's this is that person that you'd tag. And it's you didn't expect that to actually happen, but life kind of found a way, and then the 2 of you end up being platonic life partners or even romantic life partners, but it just happens in a way where you love each other so much, you trust each other so much, and care about each other so much that it's of course we're going to be life partners. But what I'm seeing here is, I think either you haven't met this person yet, or you're just at the beginning kind of friend stages with this person, or maybe you've known each other for a while, but you really only see them as a friend at the moment. I think that this is somebody you're going to know for life. I truly believe that. But starting off, the way that I have these cards set up is we're looking first at what is their physical appearance like? What do they look like? And then I'm going to get into what is their outer personality that they portray to the world versus what is their more inner personality, their actual deep personality, and then their values. What do they value most in life? And then the bottom cards here in the tarot are, what is your relationship like? What is it going to be like? So like I said, I feel like this is somebody that you either already know or you're gonna meet very early on in your life. Like I said, this is somebody I think is going to be with you throughout life. So I truly believe this is somebody you're meeting at a younger age. Or if you are younger, you're going to be meeting them while you're still quote unquote young. But starting off with what they look like, I think it's very interesting because this corresponds really well with their outer personality to the world. I think that this is somebody that's very closed off, does not let people in easily, because what they look like, you got the starfish card. And the starfish, if you've ever seen a starfish or touched a starfish in real life, they're always like suctioned to a wall so strong that you can't pull them off. Like their face is towards the wall. They're kind of like a wallflower, like not really. As a person, I would say like this is somebody that's very closed off to other people. If you've ever touched a starfish, it's actually very brittle and hard and like spiky. And so I get the vibe that this person does not open up easily to strangers, does not open up to just anybody. They're usually very closed off. I think that they've got a very hard outer shell, and they really portray this kind of like mysterious, like cold vibe. Like if you've ever heard of like resting bitch face, where just their resting face is like scary and intimidating, so everybody's kind of like, oh, I don't really want to approach that person. But I find it really interesting, because like you have their outer personality here is the black egg, and if I was just looking at this black egg, like you can't see through it, you have no idea what's going on inside of it. And also the black just makes me think that this might be somebody who prefers to dress in darker colors. Maybe they're like a little bit emo or goth, or if not that, it's like they just want to give off this air of, I don't want anybody to approach me, I'm this mysterious, like closed off person, But I think it's really interesting how their inner personality is the panther. And for somebody so closed off and so, like, not showing anything to the world, the panther card is this, like, wild, vibrant, passionate, like, if you've ever heard a panther scream, like, I'm not going to do a panther scream for you right now, but if you've heard it, it's like this growling, like, yowling, like, there's a very intense energy to them that they only show to those that are close to them. I also think that this is somebody that is a very fierce protector. Like, I'm imagining if this was somebody that you're very close friends with, like, it's hard to get them to open up. It's hard to get them to, like, be super vulnerable. Like, you'll joke around with them and they'll, like, they find it funny, but it's like they'll just quirk their lip. Like, they're not really somebody that's very boisterous, and maybe they're a little bit shy, and that's why they put up that front. But if something were to happen to you, it's like they would immediately go into like full-on guard dog mode, like barking, like hair raised up on their neck, like a panther kind of attack. I also forgot to mention with the starfish card, I meant to get more in detail in this, but with that being their physical looks, not only do I think that this is somebody who's usually like more closed off to others, when I look at the starfish card, I think that they actually look really cool. Like, I think they have a really cool style. I think that this is somebody that's actually very outwardly attractive, but attractive to the point that it's like intimidating, and maybe they don't think that they're attractive because they're like, well, nobody hits on me. And it's like, well, dude, nobody's gonna hit on you because you look so scary. But I think that they are somebody that looks really cool. They look very intense. And also all the like beautiful lines on the starfish make me think of tattoos or freckles, or like they have something unique about their skin or their body that's almost like artwork. Maybe it's like the way that they style their hair. I think they do care a lot about style, but it's in a way that's very like intimidating, like spiky, like how a starfish is like spiky to the touch. And then finally with their values, I find this interesting because the rest of them seems so hardened. It seems so intimidating and scary and like, but when it comes to their values, when I look at the snake card, it looks very soft and like they care about protecting others. They care about nurturing others. Like, I feel like if you really got to know this person, everybody around them is like, oh my god, that person is so scary. Like, they're probably in a gang or they're probably an assassin. Like, look at how scary they are. But when you get to know them and you see the softer side of them, you see, like, I feel like if you went into their room, it would reveal a lot about their personality and what they care about. And I think just looking at their room and, like, the things that they have around them, you'd see, like, they have lots of sketchbooks and lots of art around them. And they have a lot of their favorite books that they like to read. And maybe there's a guitar in the corner. And just taking that in, you immediately recognize, like, oh, they care so much about the beautiful things in life. Like, they have this hard, scary, outer protector kind of energy. But I feel like it's just to protect themselves from the world because maybe they went through something really tough as a kid. Maybe they had to build those hard outer layers. But on the inside, it's just their inner child. And I feel like this is somebody that also cares a lot about children. Like, I'm imagining, in my mind, I'm picturing a guy who's like wearing all black and looks really scary, but he's like holding a little kid's hand and like guiding them through a garden, you know? Like, not that this needs to be a guy or, you know, but that's the picture that I'm imagining in my mind, is somebody who seems so cold and closed off, but they're actually just like the sweetest, artistic, creative person who has so much love to give but doesn't know how to give it. And it's like once they find that person worthy of giving it to, they will protect that person with their life. And finally down here with what is your relationship with them like? I feel like you are more outgoing than this person, but that's really not that hard. Like, you could be considered more of an introvert, but just the fact that they are extremely closed off, you're definitely the person that's pulling them out of their shell. You're the one that's like tugging on their sleeve and is like, come on, let's go out, let's go have fun. And then they're just like staring at you like, really? But like, they're gonna do it anyway because you're so excited to like show them something, or you're so excited to do something with them. So it's like they're gonna be there with their hands in their pockets or whatever, but they're like, okay, I'll come with you. And it's like you're the only person that really knows how to pull them out of their shell. Because when I see this Page of Cups and the fish, it's like the Page of Cups is kind of just like looking down at this cup, like kind of like side-eyeing it. But of course it's indulging the fish, and the fish is just like, yappa, 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 let's go out on Friday, yappa, yappa, yappa. And the guy is just kind of like, okay. And then what I see down here, though, with the Three of Cups and the Ten of Cups, these cards, if you know anything about tarot, are some of the most beautiful cards in the world. Like, the Ten of Cups is literally called the Happy Family card because you see this family here. And the Three of Cups is about like friendship, community, partying, like happy, good times. But when I see these two cards together, I feel like it's almost showing me the beginning of your relationship versus the end. Where the beginning is like friendship and like you guys are really close, like you're really tight, and everybody looks at you and are like, how did those two become friends? Like that one looks so closed off and scary and the other one is so bubbly. Like, how does it work out? Kind of like Marceline and Princess Bubblegum, if you've ever watched Adventure Time, like how one looks like the super scary vampire and the other one is quite literally bubbly, like bubblegum. Anyways, I feel like the beginning is just you guys having a good time, hanging out. I feel like you guys have a lot of similar things that you enjoy doing together. Like, for some reason, I'm just imagining people, like, racing around a parking lot. Like, not saying that that's necessarily what you do, but just how, like, you guys go out at night and you just do, like, friend stuff together. Like, you just enjoy each other's presence. Like, there's lots of laughing and, like, just enjoying each other. But the Ten of Cups, you see that these people have grown up. They have a family. And this is what, in the beginning of the reading, I told you, this could be the kind of relationship that later on down the line, you look at each other and you're like, how did I never see this before? How did I never see this as a possibility that you and I could be together in this way? Or it's later on down the line and you both realize you want to have a family, but you don't really like anybody around you, and you're like, you know what, we could do it together. We could have a family. And I just see that there is such a strong bond of love between the two of you that even if there weren't romantic feelings, I guess, it's like you're still able to have a family because of that foundation that is like solid as diamond. I'm gonna actually point you to a book called The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and there's a relationship between Evelyn and her best friend. Oh god, I can't not remember his name off the top of my head. But he was gay and she was a lesbian, and basically the book is about how Evelyn is this extremely famous superstar, and she has all these different relationships with men, but she's actually, sorry, let me correct myself. She's not a lesbian, she's bisexual. But she's actually been in love the entire time with her best friend Celia, who's a woman, but it's based in like the 50s or something, early Hollywood, so it's not accepted at all. And so she enters into a fake relationship with her best friend. But even though he's gay and she's with a woman, they both have their own romantic relationships on the side. Their love for each other is so strong, and they have a child together, and you'll understand the kind of bond I'm trying to describe about you and your soulmate if you read this book and you see the bond that they had with each other. Like, if you read that book, which it's a long book, you might not be interested in it, but if you read it and you see the relationship that Evelyn has with this guy, God, I wish I could remember his name. you'll understand that's the kind of bond that you will have with this person. Whether or not you're actually romantically involved, it's that kind of love and that ability to have a family. And finally, with the Four of Cups, I want you to know that there's going to be a long time where you have a hard time getting this person to open up. They might seem really closed off, but I think that, like I kind of mentioned, it could be something from their childhood or the way that they were brought up or the way that they were treated when they were younger that made them feel like they need to be extremely closed off. And so if you try to get this person to open up and you're shut down or you're ignored at first, I want you to know that it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them and how terrified they are of opening up. And if you really care about this person, I want you to hear to not give up on them, because there's so much about them that needs to be revealed to the world. And obviously, if somebody is treating you terribly, you don't need to take that. But if it's more like you just can't understand, like, why aren't they opening up? Why aren't they being vulnerable when I want them to? Give them time to work their way out of their shell, because I feel like they've never been able to come out of their shell before. I truly think you will be the first person that they actually come out of their shell to. And so, Pile 1, I think that's just about everything that I have for you. I feel like I've been rambling for so long. I initially came into this reading with like, it's gonna be a quick reading, because I wasn't really feeling like doing a reading today, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do something quick, and then here I am, like what, I don't know, 15 minutes into this, but anyways, I enjoyed it, so I wish you the best. I hope that you can find this person, and it really seems like you're gonna have a beautiful relationship together. Enjoy it. Enjoy every moment that you have while it lasts. And I don't mean for that to sound like cryptic or scary, but like truly, we only get this one life. Like really let yourself pursue and do everything that you've ever wanted to do. So thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, Pile 2. Oh my gosh. First of all, I just want to say, like, looking at your cards, I wanted to start filming while I was shuffling because I just got like all these overwhelming feelings, but every time I do that I end up like hating it and like editing out the shuffling part because I just want to get directly into the reading and give you everything. But I just immediately was getting all these feelings of this, like, this person is so cute, like this person is adorable. I don't know if you know this person yet or not. In the first pile I was able to tell very clearly that it was somebody like that they would meet when they were younger or they already knew them. But for you, I can't quite tell when you're gonna meet this person. And I also want to say it's not entirely clear if this is a romantic soulmate or a platonic soulmate. So it could be that for like half of you it is romantic, for half of you it's platonic. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't, take what feels right to you, because I truly believe that this relationship could be interpreted either way. But I think no matter what, this is somebody who's going to be very prominent in your life, very important to you, and obviously it's a soulmate and it's the one that came through, so it's going to be somebody that is extremely, extremely close to you. So the way that I'm doing this is we're looking first at what does this person physically look like, then we're getting into what is their outer personality, what is the personality that they portray to the world, then we're looking at what is their more inner personality that you get to know once you know them on a deeper level, when it's just you and them, who are they actually like, and then we're going to be looking at what are their values, what's most important to them in this world, what do they want to do in this world. And finally, with the tarot, we're looking at, what is your relationship actually like? So, starting off with what they look like, you have the butterfly card. And I think this is very interesting because what immediately came to mind is this person is going to go through a major glow up. So if this is somebody that you knew from a younger age, you're actually going to see it happen. But if it's somebody that you meet later on down the line, you might see this person and think, wow, this person is so gorgeous. And then come to find out they're actually kind of insecure about their looks because growing up they always thought they were ugly, or maybe they were bullied for their looks. And like you're like, how could you be feeling that way? Look at yourself, you're like a Greek god. And but the reason that I think that is because with the butterfly card, you know how butterflies, they start off as caterpillars, and even I think caterpillars are cute, but they're kind of weird looking, they're kind of creepy crawlies. Not everybody wants a caterpillar to be touching them, but then when you see a butterfly, you're like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. And so I really think that they went through, I don't know if it was like puberty made them have this glow up, or it was like a second puberty in their 20s or something, that all of a sudden it's like all the baby fat drained off and they got really fit and they changed their hair and all of a sudden they're super attractive. Like I think this person as an adult is extremely attractive, but they had like I don't want to say ugly stage because I don't like calling people ugly, but they really were unattractive, at least in their eyes. And so you'll see that in their behavior and how they view themselves is, even though they're extremely attractive now, they haven't quite registered that and they don't quite know how to deal with that because they're still dealing with the fact that they used to be unattractive, if you know what I mean. But when you see this person, they're extremely gorgeous. I think even the fact that the butterfly is a very unique color, I don't know, maybe this color is more unique or more prevalent in other parts of the world, but where I live, I'm not used to seeing butterflies like this. But I think it's also they have a very unique beauty, not just like every other like Chris Evans looking face or like every other gorgeous model looking face. Like it's a very they have very unique features, and I think also maybe they felt insecure about those features, but it took them growing up and growing into them for them to fully shine. And then so now getting into their inner versus their outer personality. When I'm looking at the bat, I'm thinking somebody who is trying to appear really cool, like somebody who, when I look at the bat, I'm thinking like somebody emo or somebody goth, like somebody who has a specific aesthetic and they really try to stick to it and portray this image of like, I'm this cool, like vampire-esque kind of person, you know, where they have like a very put together style and maybe they're even a little bit closed off. Like I feel like bats, they're not very loud. They kind of just like chirp. I don't know if you've ever heard bats at night, but they're kind of like, they just squeak. So I feel like they're very quiet and closed off to most people. They're not the most boisterous voice in the room, but they definitely have this kind of like cool vibe that they're trying to give off because that's the personality they're trying to portray to the world. But getting into their actual personality, this is the card that like just made me like, oh, they're so cute. Because it's the octopus. And when I look at the octopus, two main things come to mind. Is one, they are a cuddler. This is somebody that loves to hug. They love to be close to you. I think once you've really gotten close to this person and their walls have come down, there's no letting go of them. Like it's like it used to be so hard to get them to come closer to you, but then it's like once that wall is down, good luck trying to get them off of you. Like this person is just constantly latched onto you, constantly like if you're walking together, it's like their hip is like pressed up against your side, or like if you're laying down, like they're constantly like half on top of you and you're like, bro, I need my own personal space. But it's like they just naturally want to gravitate towards you because they love to be close. I think physical touch is definitely one of their love languages, but it's not something that they're used to giving out so freely. So it's like once they meet someone that they are able to open up to and really get close to, it's like there's no getting them off. It's like it's a leech. You can't pull that thing off. You're gonna have to get the tweezers out. And also the thing that also came to mind when I looked at the octopus is, first of all, how intelligent octopuses are, but also all the colors lighting up the octopus's head. I think that this is somebody that has a lot of like really interesting creative ideas, somebody who's very intellectual. And like I said, how their outer personality was the bat, where they had like a very small voice that was just like little squeaks and chirps. With the octopus, I feel like they're constantly like yappa 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 yappa, like yapping your ear off about like, oh, and this thing in World of Warcraft happened, and oh, but I got this new power up, and like, yeah, and then I was able to level up and I chose these things, and oh, and I read this new book. And I feel like it's not gonna be annoying to you because it's endearing, because you love this person so much, and it's like, you love it when they're excited about something and passionate about something, and they just want to talk about all the things that they're interested in. I think they have a lot of intellectual pursuits, especially with the octopus having multiple arms. It's like they're constantly exploring and feeling out new things. I feel like they're especially somebody that likes to work with their hands. And for some reason, Legos are coming to mind. Like maybe this is a really big nerd about like Legos. So I don't know, much to think about. I think it's interesting how they've got this really big dichotomy here of like used to be unattractive but now super attractive, and like portrays this like kind of cool closed off vibe to the world with like a small voice, but then once you get to know them, they're this like loud, boisterous, clingy, like a warm, cuddly kind of person. I don't know, I think it's cute. And then finally with their values, I don't know how I got this from the starfish card, but for some reason this is what it made me think of. Is I actually don't know what starfish eat or how much they eat, but this is like what came to mind looking at it, is like filter feeder. I don't know if they're filter feeders. I should know this. I literally do marine biology. But no, what I'm getting is this is somebody that likes to live very frugally. They like to be comfortable, but they love to give to those in need. They love to take care of others that can't take care of themselves. I think this is somebody that cares a lot about donating to charity. Maybe somebody that likes to, they care a lot about voting, or they care a lot about going to rallies or protests. Or if it's not that, like they like to feed the homeless or to donate, or, you know, build houses for the less fortunate. Like, this is somebody that if they were given a bunch of money, a lot of it would be given away because they're like, I don't need all that. You know, I have what I need, I have what I care about, but I want to give it away to those who are in need. Like, I imagine that this is somebody who's very smart, so maybe they have a really good job where they can bring in a lot of money, and you would expect people in their field have these, like, huge apartments or huge houses with a ton of cars, but then you see them and it's like they're still driving the same old pickup and they're living in the same house for, you know, the past 10 years, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, I just donated like $10,000 to this, like, kids charity organization. You're like, oh my god, what the hell? But I think it's like, it's a really sweet thing. Like, they care a lot about others and they don't need a lot to be happy. You know, they're like, as long as I have you, as long as I have what I need, I'm happy, and the rest I'd happily give away. Like, that's the kind of person that I think they are. And finally, with the tarot cards, this is all about what is your relationship like? And with Justice in the middle, I think you guys really balance each other out. So I think that this might be an opposite attract kind of situation, at least when it comes to personality, because you have the Fool reversed and Strength reversed. And in this specific reading, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's trying to show me that you guys are two opposite sides of the same coin and you're trying to, like, balance each other out, because the Fool card is all about, like, carefree, you know, exploring, spontaneity, but if it's too much it can be reckless. So I feel like you guys balance each other out that way. Like, maybe one of you really likes to be spontaneous and, like, jump from one thing to the next, and the other person is more practical and is like, well, actually, we can't just jump from here to there, we need to, like, figure out a plan, we gotta do things more meticulously, or, like, we just did something spontaneous last Friday, like, let's push it to the next one. Not to be, like, a Debbie Downer about it, but to, like, really reel in the more wild sides of each other. And also vice versa, maybe they get you out of your shell, or, you know, maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you're getting them out of their shell and making them be more spontaneous, making them explore more and see things that they've never seen before, do things that they've never done before. And with Strength reversed, this to me is all about, like, one of you maybe is more lacking in confidence, and maybe it's them, versus the other is like, come on, like, you're their biggest cheerleader, and you're like, yeah, let's do it, let's get out of that shell, let's do these things. And so I think it's this really beautiful balancing thing where you guys have these extremes on each side, but when you come together, it's like, it's perfect. You guys are each other's better half. And I don't necessarily believe in that saying that we're only half of a person. I think we're definitely whole people on our own. But when you two come together, it's like, it's just the added bonus. You perfectly balance each other. It just seems like the perfect relationship. So that's everything that I have for you. I hope that you get to meet this person soon if you've not met them before, or if this is somebody in your life and you're, like, recognizing all these things. I'm excited for you and your future with this person, because it seems like you guys are gonna have a great life together. I really see, it's like you guys are just the best friends. But also, I definitely think I'm leaning more towards, like, 70% of you are in a romantic relationship with this person, or are going to be. But it's like, even though it's a romantic relationship, you're also each other's best friends. Like, it's just, there's a lot of love here. So that's everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. All right, pile 3, last but certainly not least. Every single pile, I really, you know, this is just an aside about me personally, but I don't usually like doing romance readings all the time, because sometimes they just don't really interest me that much, but there's something about soulmate readings that just have this feeling of pure love that when I tap into them, like, it just makes me giddy, and I'm like, damn, why don't I do more of these? So I just want to say every pile so far has just been, like, the most beautiful energy, and yours included. So I'm probably gonna, I won't do them all the time, but I'll definitely increase the amount that I do, because I don't know, maybe it's making me see a different perspective of things, but anyways, the way that we're going to do this is we're starting off by looking at what is your soulmate's physical description like? What do they physically look like? Then we're going to get into what is their personality like, both on the outside, like how they portray themselves to the world, versus what's their deeper personality like when you really get to know them. Who are they actually like? And then we're looking at, what are their values? What do they value most in life? What do they care about most? And then down here with the tarot cards, we're looking at what is your relationship with them like? And it's all very encouraging. So what I see here is, I also want to say, I don't know if you listened to the beginning, I feel like your relationship can go either romantic or platonic. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If this sounds like your best friend, then that's them showing to you that they are one of your soulmates. But if it sounds more like somebody you're romantically interested in, then it's your romantic soulmate. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I truly believe that this can be read either way. But getting into it, this person, what they look like, you got the Cobra card. And I think that's very interesting because to me, cobras are very intimidating. I've never seen one in real life, but my parents recently, while traveling, saw one and they said it was like huge, like very scary. I think it was like a black mamba. Is that a cobra? I could be wrong, but it was like a really scary, like intimidating snake. And the fact that this cobra in the card is staring directly at the viewer, I feel like this is somebody that maintains strong eye contact. It's somebody who's very intimidating, somebody who's also very attractive. If you look at a cobra, like they're just very sleek, very beautiful, almost like a sports car. I don't know how I would describe a person as a sports car, but it's like if you get it, you get it. Like just this sleek, polished, efficient, refined kind of person. When you look at them, you're like, damn, they got their shit together. And then it's also like they're just this very attractive, like, I don't know how to expand upon like their actual facial features. I know their eyes though, like, are very intense. They might have very prominent eyes. Specifically, I want to say like their canthal tilt may be positive. I think canthal tilt is such a stupid thing. Like on TikTok, people talk about looks maxing and like what makes you more attractive is like having this feature and this feature. And one of those features that they talk about is canthal tilt. And it's like the direction that your eyes slant. If the inner corner is lower than the outer corner, like they're kind of slanted like that, then that's like a positive canthal tilt. And that's what I mean for this person is like that slanted one, because they say that makes them look more like a predator rather than prey, versus like doe eyes on a girl or like a negative canthal tilt is like more like baby face. Like, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I feel like this person has a almost predator energy about them, like very intimidating. Like when they're walking down the street, people move out of the way. Like maybe they like to wear all black, or maybe they wear boots that like when they hit the ground, it's like earthquake, like just this resounding sound. And they just kind of have this scary vibe about them. Like if you get too close or if you piss them off, like you're gonna get bit. So that's that's what they look like. Maybe that's your type. It's literally giving like Wattpad bad boy. Like I don't know if you know what Wattpad is, but if you get it, you get it. Anyways, moving on to their personality. This part is so ridiculous to me. Like, when I was pulling the cards, I wanted to start filming before all the cards were out because I was literally like, aww, like, literally, like, fawning over them, which is a wild departure from what we were just talking about. How they're, like, super scary, intimidating. It's just ridiculous because their outer personality that they portray is very in line with their physical looks of being, like, intimidating, scary, because it's the panther. It's like, if you get too close, if you piss them off, they are going to like growl at you like so loud that it scares you away. Like they will easily scare off people. I don't know if you've ever played a video game where like Fallout or Skyrim or like Baldur's Gate, which just came out, but any kind of role-playing game, there will be options to intimidate characters, and it's like you can pass or fail, and if you fail, it doesn't work, and then you get into a fight, but if you pass, it like makes the people that you were trying to intimidate fuck off. And so with this person, I imagine they are the type of person that always passes intimidation checks. Like, they just easily intimidate people around them. They're definitely like the scary dog privilege when you're walking down the street. And with the panther, like, you can see how scary the panther is. You can see, like, nobody wants to piss off the panther. And so they're really trying to give off this energy to people around them, like, don't fuck with me. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with the people I care about. Stay 10 feet away at all times, because if we fight, you're gonna lose. Like, it's that kind of energy. But the part that made me say, oh, is, like, their deeper personality is the otter. Like, dude, that's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's like they go from being this super scary person on the outside to, like, on the inside, they're just this fluffy little creature that, like, wants to hold hands. And, like, oh my god, otters are ridiculous. Like, I feel like I wish I had something to compare it to, but I can't really think of anything other than, like, the scary character turns out to actually be a really sweet character on the inside. Like, oh, like, otters are so cute. Even just this picture, like, the way that they're standing, it's like their belly is all round and their hands are so small and short and they're all fuzzy. And if you've ever seen otters sleep, like, they literally hold hands with other otters so that they don't drift away from each other. And I just saw a video the other day on TikTok where it was like a mom otter just kind of like swinging the littlest, most ridiculously small baby otter onto her stomach. Like, these are the cutest animals in the world, and that's why it's so ridiculous that you have this strong departure of, like, the scariest animals in the world to the cutest, like, tiniest little baby in the world. So I think secretly this person likes to be babied. Secretly this person loves to have their forehead kissed. They want to hold hands. They want to watch rom-coms. Like, I feel like they're such a scary person, but if you were to watch, like, a rom-com with them, like The Notebook, like, they'd be crying at the end and they're like, don't look at me. Oh god. Like, this is actually a really cute person on the inside. But I feel like they're probably super tall and probably really well built, and that's why everybody just assumes, like, oh my gosh, this person is a badass, like, don't mess with them. And, like, maybe they have, like, really dark hair and dark eyes, and they just give off this vibe of don't mess with me, and maybe they like to wear all black. But then on the inside, it's like they will cry over dog videos, and, like, they just want to hold hands, and they are actually the baby in the relationship, not the other way around. You get it right? Like, you put the bow in their hair, they are baby girl, which is so ridiculous. Like, I couldn't get past it. That's why I wanted to start filming as I was getting the cards out, because I thought it was so funny. But anyways, I also think really interesting what their values are. You have the spider. Every time I talk about the spider card, I envision somebody who really cares about building the perfect home. When you think about spiders, they literally spend hours or days on building these meticulous webs so that they can be comfortable, so that they can have abundance come to them, so that they can have food come to them. It just seems like they care a lot about their home. So I feel like this person, their values are a lot about, you know, I think they're actually a homebody. I think this is somebody who loves to cook. I think acts of service is one of their main love languages. I think they care a lot about providing the most comfortable space possible. Like, I think if you went over to their house, you'd be expecting, like, metal music to be playing and, like, everything everywhere, but it's actually, like, meticulously taken care of, and it's like, oh, would you like some tea? And then they open the tea drawer, and everything is so ridiculously organized. There's, like, 10 different types, and they're all, like, color coordinated or alphabetical order, and it's like, who are you? Who is this person? Like, what are they doing right now? And, like, you go to their bedroom and they've got, like, all the fluffiest pillows and, like, everything's just so comfortable. And they're like, may I offer you some heated socks? And it's like, what? Like, I'm sorry, it's so ridiculous. But this is, like, it's a really cute person. Like, this is, you can see, like, why am I blushing over this? This is cute. Anyways. Now, what your relationship with them would be like. In the tarot here, you have the Hermit reversed, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and the Page of Cups. I feel like I'll start with the Page of Cups. I feel like you guys both alternate getting each other out of each other's shell, like hyping each other up in your own ways. Like, I think you guys are each other's best hype man, but in different ways. Like, maybe you're hyping them up for, I don't know, maybe they have, like, social anxiety and you're, like, hyping them up for an interview, or maybe they're hyping you up to, I don't know, do whatever it is that you want to do. Like, I feel like you guys are always hyping each other up. You're always in each other's corner. You guys are each other's biggest supporters, always, like, texting each other throughout the day, like, you got this, like, just supporting each other. And in lifting each other up. You both really want to see each other succeed. And with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, I feel like you guys both encourage each other to pursue everything that you want to accomplish. Like, when I see the Knight of Pentacles reversed, I'm seeing, like, somebody who doesn't really know how to take their first steps towards a goal. They really have something they want to accomplish, and they're really hardworking, but they just don't quite know how to start. And I feel like you guys are just encouraging each other, like, here's what you can do, like, making spreadsheets of, like, okay, here's step 1, here's step 2, and you guys both do that for each other. Like, you just are really, you want to encourage each other to go after your goals, not just career goals, but, like, say you wanted to make new friends in the new town that you moved to, but you're really nervous, and they're like, what if you make a, like, class that people can go to, and, like, here, I'll help you design it, and, like, here's the poster I made for you, and it's just, like, it's this really wholesome, sweet thing of, they want you to succeed because they love you. Like, it's just that kind of pure energy. And with the Hermit reversed, I think it's gonna take a long time for you to actually really get to know this person. I feel like I want to say the way that this relationship will start, or that I think it's going to start, is you'll be around each other and you'll be viewing this person as this super intimidating, closed off person, and that's how you know them for, like, years. Like, you just really don't get close to them. You maybe don't even think of them all that often. Maybe you have a crush on them, but you guys aren't very close. And then something happens and one thing leads to another. And then you guys get into a relationship, and that's when you get to know them. But I think in the beginning of the relationship, you guys won't really know each other very well. You'll be in the same kind of circles, but, like, for example, because this sounds a lot like my relationship with my girlfriend, she is my best friend's cousin. And I have been friends with my best friend since 2nd grade. And so I have seen this girl so many times throughout the years, but we literally did not become friends until, like, 2 years ago when we officially started talking. It's like we had seen each other at like Christmas, at family parties. We would see each other all the time, and I just thought this girl hated me because, like, one time my friend was like, oh, do you want her Snapchat? And then she was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay, and I just thought that she hated me, but really it's like later on she told me I was so nervous, I didn't know what to do with that information, so I just shut it down. And I was like, oh my god, we're ridiculous. But it was really, there were years where we were just around each other in the same friend groups but would never talk to each other, and I thought she was intimidating, she thought I was intimidating. And then it's like all it took was eventually we got each other's social media and then just started talking 24/7. And then before you knew it, we were going out on our first date, and now we've been inseparable for 2 years. So it could be something, I think it's going to be something exactly like that, where this is somebody that you just thought, oh, they don't even look my way, but it's like as soon as you turn around, they're just staring at you because they're like, oh my gosh, they're so beautiful, you know. But it's something that you don't realize until something clicks and you're like, I had no idea you were interested in me all along. I think it's going to be exactly like that. So that is what I have for you, pile 3. I wish you the best. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you, because I loved feeling that energy. Like, you could hear it in my voice how giddy I was, and talking about how ridiculous that otter is. Like, this person is so cute. So if this person you end up meeting and you guys have a beautiful relationship, I hope that you would have saved this video and come back and tell me, because I think that would be awesome, like a full circle moment. Or if you're already in a relationship with this person, I hope that I described them to a T. So that is everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.